In the gospel today, Jesus is giving a parable that was really intended or aimed at the chief priests and the scribes. The parable was really intended for them. But they did not realize it until they were actually hit by it. Towards the end, you heard it said, then they knew that he was speaking about them. Meron tayong kasabihan sa Tagalog, bato-bato sa langit, ang tamaan, huwag magagalit. If we are consistent with the imagery used by the saying, at intentional, yung patama, maybe the saying should be reformulated. Siguro dapat, bato-bato sa langit, ang tamaan ay mabukulan sana. In the gospel narrative of the vineyard, the chief priests and the scribes, they get the point only after being drawn to participate in the storytelling. Sumagot-sagot pa nga sila when Jesus asked them, ano bang dapat gawin sa ganyang klaseng tao? You remember the prophet Nathan sort of hooked King David in the same way. Ano bang dapat gawin sa mga ganyan? Yung palang ganyan, ikaw yun mismo. Kaya, para silang nabukulan nang hindi nila nalalaman, tinamaan na pala sila. Ang tawag ko dito, ang parable na bumubukol. Nagre-rhyme, ano? Ang parable na bumubukol. Parang malakas ang tama kung minsan ng salita ng Diyos. Minsan, 2,000 years ago pa sinulat, pero parang swak na swak sa mga kasalukuyang sitwasyon. Honestly, may problema ako sa parable na ito. Because applied to God and Israel, the story is portraying God as the owner of the vineyard and Israel as the tenants. Para bang na-scandalize ako dun sa implication. Una, na yung may-ari ng ubasan, he failed in getting trustworthy workers or tenants. Secondly, that he was foolish enough to even risking his own son by sending him to them after 2 batches of servants had already been maltreated. Nagkamali siya. He made the mistake of believing they will respect my son. Respect. They killed him. He was wrong. I wonder if you noticed kung gaano kadaming beses, how many times the word kill was repeated in our readings today. I'm not inventing this. Kung attentive kayo, you would have heard the word kill 5 times sa first reading, 4 times sa gospel reading. It is rubbing it in. So what does that tell us about God? If you apply the parable to Him, if you represent God as that vineyard owner, that God was wrong, that God had failed, that God was naive. Mas malakas pa nga dyan yung sinabi nung someone I know, even worse. Hindi ko na lang sabihin. Thanks to the pairing of this gospel with the story of Joseph in the first reading, meron tayong nakikitang another angle to the seeming naivete of the Lord or the landlord father. Sa first reading natin, the father is Jacob. The son who is being sent in the field is Joseph. Joseph, one of the 12 sons of Jacob. And the people he is sending him to are not tenants. Hindi sila ibang tao. They're not even strangers. They are the other sons of Jacob. And that explains kung bakit he was trusting them. He was sending a younger son, ang bunso, a younger one. Well, he was not the bunso. Benjamin was the bunso. But he was among the youngest ones. He was sending the younger brother to the older brothers. How could Jacob not have preempted that they were going to maltreat him and even plot to kill their own brother? I am sure kung mahal ni Joseph o kung mahal ni Jacob si Joseph, mahal din niya itong mga pasaway na kapatid. He could not see it coming because he was not aware that his other sons had already been blinded by their jealousy, their envy, their anger with Joseph. Nakabubulag talaga ang galit, hinanakit, at pagngingit-ngit. Sometimes people will not even listen to reason anymore. Parang teledrama ang kwento ni Joseph. Masyado namang kontrabida ang dating ng mga kapatid. Good thing, hindi naman sila lahat masasama. We also hear of the protective big brother image ni Reuben. He tried to save Joseph, but he did not succeed. But at least it tones down the villain image of the brothers. Mga normal lang silang mga tao after all. The story shows how God writes straight with crooked lines. At ang nagsuggest pa that ended up sort of saving Joseph ay yung Judas nila. And he really was named Judah. Judas and Judah are the same. It was Judah who made the suggestion, huwag na lang nating ibenta. Pwede naman nating pagkakitaan. We can sell him to the Midianite travelers for silver. And there in Egypt, Joseph would be able to rise against all odds at magiging gobernador pa siya. The one they maltreated would later on become powerful. Babaliktad ang gulong ng palad. Siguro kung pelikula lang ito, ang title niya, Bukas Luluhod ang Mga Tala. But then comes the real twist. Just when he has all the chances to take a revenge, maghihiganti, pwede nang maghiganti. What does Joseph decide to do? He forgives his brothers. And he will tell them, God had allowed these things to happen. It was bad, but He meant it for good. Now, pwede mo nang basahin differently yung parable. Now you can understand why the owner said, they will respect my son because they were also his sons. Jesus is posing the question now to the audience, ano bang dapat gawin dun sa mga pasaway? At ang bilis nila, they said, dapat mamatay yan. They should die. I hope you see yourselves or we see ourselves dito sa mga judgmental na ang bilis magsabing they deserve to die. This parable is for us. Well, by answering the question, they end up convicting themselves. But the Lord invites them to assume His perspective, and that is the perspective of mercy. Mercy. These men are not evil. Madalas yung marinig sa akin, wala namang likas na masamang tao dito sa mundo. Gaano man kasama ang pwedeng gawin ng tao. You have to believe in an evil God who creates evil people if you believe na mayroong evil people. We are all by nature good. Napapasama lang because of certain circumstances. Kaya responsibilidad din natin yung mga naliligaw ng landas. Well, please do not forget the psalm that says, Lord, if you, O Lord, should mark our guilt, who can stand? So, what will the Lord do when we distance from Him? Well, the Lord will not judge us. He will go down to hell and suffer for us. And what did Jesus do when his friend Judas betrayed him? Kinondem ba siya? No. He took the bread and the first one he gave communion to was Judas, because he was willing to become the sacrificial lamb by whose blood the sinners will be forgiven. I hope you meditate on this for the rest of this Lenten season, because we will start to go deep and deeper into the season of Lent through the readings that you will hear every day, written 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, but very fresh. Mga batong bumubukol, malakas ang tama kahit sa ating ngayon kasalukuyang panahon.